All right, in the first video, we covered the introduction and the basics to combat. Now we're going to dive into the meat of combat and find out how it is done in the Alien franchise game. Little commentary real quickly here. Heathen Dog and I, we have a bunch of sidebars on this stuff because we're trying to present it to you as somebody who's seeing this for the first time. I have skimmed through the book. I have not read it word for word. I know what's in here. I played a bunch of other Mutant Year Zero, Forbidden Lands, et cetera, games, Coriolis. Heathen Dog has not.
Nothing of the sort.
But the experience in those games are going to jade me a little bit. And yeah, sometimes I might see things a little differently, or we might have a house rule or something. But we're presenting it to you as a first timer. So if we make mistakes, go ahead, put that in chat. Just be cool about it that maybe we made a mistake on something. But we're about to get into combat, so no mistakes here because I'll roll some dice and shoot you. The best tabletop RPG groups follow these core values to respect the campaign setting, the game, and the people at the table. Refer to the URL in the video's description to donate to the charity we support, the Wounded Warrior Project. Sunday on Rumble and YouTube, we provide tabletop RPG game, system, and setting overviews. Then on Friday, a panel of guests editorialize on the TTRPG hobby as a whole. Thursdays and Saturdays are when Heathen Dog leads his Dirty Casuals video game squad on twitch.tv/legionofmyth. Please like and share this video with your friends and on social media, and subscribe to Legion of Myth for more tabletop RPG content. I'm interested in what violence sells everything means with that comment, because I think I know, but I'm not 100% sure. The entire combat section is reading as if the entire thing is laid on a fully mapped game board and viewed from overhead with no regard to facing. I have a comment about facing just generically. A lot of games don't do facing when it comes to people because we can turn and so forth. We're not battle mechs, but that might not be his point. So I don't want to. There we go. Let's embiggen that a little bit. Okay, let's get to page 91. Let's start looking at combat. By the way, this combat flows the same way as most Year Zero engine combat does, with just a few tweaks. Wait a minute, I thought it was 91. Apparently it was 95. All right, are we ready for close? Are you ready to fisticuffs? Are you ready to be?
Oh, I want to be the alien at this point, because that right there, that looks like a successful sneak attack. That's going to end badly.
Or just a successful close combat attack. When you attack someone with your bare fist or melee weapon, you use the close combat skill. Close combat usually happens at engaged range from your target. You can fight unarmed or use a weapon. Drawing a melee weapon from its sheath or a belt is a fast action. These guys are trained. They know how to
clear a holster in record time. I got it.
Little anecdote. Dead serious here. I had my 45 on me when I was in the backyard about 2 weeks ago, and I went to pull it out, and I was like, "The hell happened?" Like I'm glad I wasn't attacked at that moment in time. That can happen, and I'm very versed with my 45, but I don't know what happened. I couldn't replicate it, but at that one moment, it was stuck, and I was, okay, finally, it's out. So, maybe you fumble at some point. Just house rule. No, kidding. Let's move on. To attack an opponent in close combat, you need to be standing on your feet. If you are prone, you must first spend an action to get up before you can attack. Oh, God, all the martial artists are going to cry now. Yep. When you are prone, standing enemies get a +2 modification on all close combat attacks against you. Go watch MMA. You don't necessarily want to be the guy on the ground. I know how to ground and pound. I can do it. Well, guess what? Not an alien. Shut up.
Yeah.
What's like? It's pedantry.
Every rule. Every situation can't be ruled. If you did that, this book would be 1,000 pages long, and combat would take 3 hours. Stop it. It's still a game.
Exactly. And you can always make a house rule.
Yeah.
Oh, in this circumstance, whatever. Anyway, resolution. All right. If your close combat roll is successful. So what's close combat? It was strength, right? I should probably know this. Hold on. It was a strength.
Yeah, no, it was strength.
Okay. So strength plus your close combat skill. So you have a strength of 4 and a close combat skill of 2. How many dice are you rolling?
6.
All right. So you roll 6 dice. Do you want me to roll 6 dice? Do you have six-siders on you? If not, I have 6 alien dice right here.
I got it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looking for sixes. Holy crap. 3.
Nice. Well, so his first roll or his first 6 is a success. He successfully attacks the opponent. That's all he needs is 1 6. He got 3 of them. Every additional one is a stunt. We talked about that a couple weeks ago, but it's got some clarification here. So let's read what it says. If successful, your attack hits, you inflict damage equal to the weapon's damage rating on your opponent. So again, I don't like exactly how that's written, but the weapon damage, so your fists do a certain amount of damage. If you have a weapon that does, say, 3 damage.
Damage will be listed per weapon. Yeah.
Right. Damage may be mitigated by armor. Read more about damage, armor, critical hits on page 98, which we will get to in this video. For every extra success you roll, choose one of the stunts. You can inflict an additional point of damage. So let's use that 3 number. That's pretty high, but we're going to use that 3 number anyway, just to delineate. Heathen Dog successfully attacked. So he does 3 points of damage. Why? Because we're just saying that his fists, he's an android. There you go. He can do 3 points of damage.
I'm Ash Strong.
He's Ash Strong. He can choose to inflict an additional point, not an additional 3 points, not an additional success level, an additional point for 4 points of damage. He can choose that. And he can take that multiple times. So he could actually do 5 points of damage.
I probably wouldn't want to do that because some of these other ones are pretty neat.
Okay, well, let's see what they are. You outmaneuver your enemy and get to exchange your initiative score.
If his initiative score was greater than mine, I would use that extra point for this because going first is always better than not.
And the cool thing is, I don't know why it says can't, but it says you can't go back to your earlier initiative. So this isn't like trading before where you choose to trade with another character and go back. This is you now have the momentum going forward. Yes. By the way, again, in Forbidden Lands, not in Alien, I've seen this back and forth where people get extra successes. Now I got initiative. No, now I've got initiative. Now I've got initiative. It's one of the reasons why, while I hate the static initiative of round upon round upon round, the game has enough options in here to continue to allow combat to be a scrum, to be a bit chaotic. But I have to use the success when I could have done more damage. Winning initiative a lot of times is better. So, like if Heathen Dog's got a 10 and I've got a 1 and he steals my initiative, well, guess what? I'm a 1 for everything.
Yeah. And when we go over the rest of these combat stunts for close quarters combat, you're going to realize that taking an extra point of damage is not the right call a lot of times. I wouldn't do it in this case. Yeah, if I didn't have initiative, I would take initiative using 1, and I'd use my second stunt to do the one of these other ones. Go ahead and read the other ones.
Okay, so you knock or pull a weapon or other object from your opponent. You choose which. During combat, picking up a dropped object counts as a fast action. I've got a complaint about this one. Would you use this one?
I wouldn't use this one, no, because it doesn't say take. That's the problem. Getting it back as a fast action, that means that is almost no detriment to the person you attacked.
It stops you from being able to defend yourself effectively.
Okay, but they still got a weapon. They just have to spend a fast action to get a weapon and then shoot me again with it. I don't like that. I don't want them to shoot me at all. I want to get something where they can't shoot me.
My complaint about this one is I've seen this one used a lot, again, other games, and it becomes clown shoes.
Well, no, this is good. This is good if you're taking away their ability to push a button, to do something they don't want to do, or pull a lever, or do whatever. You knock the detonator out of their hand. That makes sense. Okay, I get it. But besides that, I don't see real.
I pull his weapon away. Now he can't shoot me with it. He can't use his sword for the extra damage. My armor is going to stop his fists. Okay, he pulls out a knife. I take it away from him again. He pulls out his other knife. I take it away from him again. I've actually seen that stuff happen.
Wow, you know what? In a movie, I've seen this in movies where someone with super high skill is basically teabagging someone with lesser skill, and you just go, nope, that's mine now. Nope, you don't get that. Nope, you don't get that. It happens in movies all the time where the super high skill doesn't want to kill the other guy, but wants to make him look like a fool.
The argument to that is, well, first of all, you have to get a minimum of 2 successes to make that happen. It's not always the most effective maneuver, but you know me, I'm very anti-clown shoes.
Yeah.
So when I see something like this happen 3 or 4 times, I'm like, can you do something else? Nope. It's like simultaneous attack in Palladium. Can you do something else? Nope.
So hang on. Ron has something here. If you're unarmed and your opponent has a weapon, taking that weapon for yourself to wield is typically the best option. There's a problem with this. It nowhere says you get to keep that weapon.
No, but you can pick it up. If you pull it away as a slow action for an attack, during combat, picking a dropped weapon doesn't say that's the opponent that picks it up. You can pick up that dropped weapon.
That is absolutely true. If you still have your fast action,
yep,
and you were betting that you would get a stunt, then this is great, but it's highly situational to prepare for.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Now, Ron, by the way, Ron knows a lot about the Free League games. He's one of our biggest commenters when it comes to the various Free League stuff, so we appreciate him being here. Now, your opponent falls prone. The stunt can only be used on humanoid opponents. Now, is a xenomorph humanoid?
Yes, it has 2 arms, 2 legs, a head. The only problem is it has a tail, but it's still humanoid. But falling prone, because we learned that taking actions against someone who is prone is +2 dice.
+2, yeah.
That's great. And getting up from being prone is their fast action. So they only get 1 more. And they won't be able to defend themselves by blocking or anything because they have to get up. Because staying on the ground is a death sentence.
Well, we'll see when you get to blocking exactly what it does in this one. But and finally, you pin your enemy in a tight clinch. See grappling below. The stunt can only be used on humans and synthetics, so you can't grapple a xenomorph.
Well, no, they have that prehensile tail that'll just thwack you all day long. And I imagine if you're grappling, that's all you're doing. So unless you have a friend, you stalled the fight. You didn't win it. If you have a friend, shiv him. That's great.
Heathen Dog, you're a member of Legion of Myth now.
All right.
Check that out. Go ahead, because that's $20. So go ahead and read that off if you want. So, Law Dog gifted 5 Legion of Myth memberships.
5 Legion of Myth memberships, and I got one of them.
Yep, David Walker, Morganfish, Brian James, Mages Music. Go check out his channel. There's a lot of AD&D First Edition. And Heathen Dog, you weren't a member already, you lazy? No.
Shut up.
Why aren't you paying me $5 a month to be on the show? All right, but you see those stunts there and things that you can do. Thank you very much, Law Dog. Really do appreciate that. Blocking. If you are attacked in close combat, you can choose to block the attack. To avoid being hit, blocking is a fast action. Well, there you go. And you can roll for close combat. You must declare that you're going to block before the attacker rolls strike. That's kind of cool. I think that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to attack Heathen Dog with my dice. Well, hold on, I'm going to block it. Okay. I think that makes sense. Now, I get it. If you're used to Palladium, it's a reaction, yada, yada. I understand. It's just a different flow to the system.
Right.
But I don't have a problem with having to declare this first. Because
now
here's why, though.
Yeah. This also goes into the fact that you're not allowed to block surprise or sneak attacks.
Correct. It also goes into the fact that your damage is directly related to that attack roll.
Yeah.
Now, how does Palladium handle it? Palladium handles it like, okay, you still rolled a hit, then you can choose to parry and dodge before the damage. The whole point of this is I want to see if he kills me with this before I decide to block.
No. See if he hits me, because you don't know the damage yet. But we'll see if he hits me.
But I'm talking this game. Yeah. In this game, you could know pretty quickly, that attack could kill me. Hold on, let me decide to block now.
Yeah.
But because it uses an action, no, you have to decide. Heathen Dog says he's going to attack me. I decide I'm going to block. There you go. You must declare for each success you roll, choose an effect. Remember, successes are 6s if you're using real dice, or it's a 6 if you're using these dice. Oh, that was stress. But decrease damage. You remove one of the enemy's successes. Well, there you go. If the attack is left with no successes, the attack misses. So Heathen Dog got 3 successes on me. How many dice did you roll? I'm going to roll the same amount of dice. 6? You rolled 6 dice, right?
6.
All right.
6.
I'm going to roll 6 dice.
Yep.
And I got 1 success. So what is 1 success? Remove one of the enemies.
Okay.
So I dropped you down.
So I have 2 net.
Yep. You have 2 net successes.
You dropped me to 2 successes. So I only get 1 stunt.
Yep. There you go.
I will probably choose either if you're higher initiative than me, I'll replace initiative, or if not, I'll put you on the ground.
There you go.
There it is.
You can perform a counterattack, dealing damage to the attacker equal to the damage rating of your weapon. You cannot spend additional successes to increase the damage of your counterattack. You are not the aggressor in this case. You are the defender. Therefore, you are not putting all of your effort into the damage. You're putting most of it into the defense. This is just a riposte.
I don't see the rules for counterattack though.
No, it just says you perform it. It happens.
That's if you get a stunt. This is the blocking.
These are stunts. Yes.
Okay. Got it.
For each success below, you choose an effect. I could choose not to lessen the damage you gave me, but to counterattack you. Yeah.
Okay. Or disarm.
Disarm.
I still take all the damage, but I take your weapon. It's kind of like someone's coming at you with a bat. You get hit in the side with the bat, but then you grab it and rip it away from them.
That's in the case of like your attack, that would be, yes, I only reduced you by 1 success. Now, if I reduced you by 3 successes, I could choose to remove all the damage. I could choose to do one of each of these. I could, yeah. Again, I have seen the point where this can get a little clown shoes, but it is fast, it is simple, and it is part of the game. So, reactive action. Again, could have just called it reaction. Blocking is a reaction that breaks the normal initiative order in the round. However, it does count against your 2 available actions in the round, 1 slow and 1 fast. Each time you block, you lose 1 action later in the round. And if you already used both your actions, you cannot block. When it's your time to act, it might therefore be wise to save your fast action if you fear you might be attacked later in the round.
Well, hang on. Every round you have a fast action and a slow action. But if I remember correctly, earlier in this series, you can exchange your slow action for another fast action.
You have 2 fast actions, yes.
Right. So I can block using 1 fast action and then have my regular slow action when it's my initiative, or block twice and just have nothing.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Blocking unarmed. If you're unarmed, you can only block unarmed attacks from other humans. To block an armed close combat attack or an attack by a xenomorph creature, you need to wield some kind of sturdy weapon or tool. What is it called when you block a sword with your arm?
It's called, I'm giving you my arm to cut off.
It's called a successful straight upon your arm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, you're choosing where you get hit, but you're still getting hit.
Yeah. NPCs don't block attacks. The GM can override this rule, however, when dramatically appropriate, or for the more, we'll call them the named boss. The mooks, no.
No, they're not going to do it.
You're just gunning them down.
I would have human beings being able to, human being NPCs being able, trained human being NPCs being able to block other human NPCs. But for xenomorphs, I don't think their instinct in combat is to block at all. I think it's just overwhelming force. So I wouldn't have them block no matter what.
Did they ever block in the movies?
Not that I recall.
They're holding somebody and doing the teeth thing, but that was in a...
That was a grapple and coup de grace, basically.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll get to xenomorphs at some time in the future. That'll be when we talk creatures in I don't know how many weeks. All right, grappling. If you grapple your opponent as a stunt in close combat, both you and your opponent fall to the ground. Both of you fall to them. Basically, you're just tackling them, taking them to the ground. The opponent drops any weapons, though, and cannot move. So you do have the advantage. You're doing the ground and pound. You're sitting on his face, and you're... Oh, maybe not there yet.
You don't know if you can attack yet. Hang on.
That's fair. The only action you can perform is to attempt to break free, which is a slow action that succeeds if the opponent wins a opposed close combat roll. Let's just go. You took me to the ground. Go ahead and roll your 6 dice, because I'm going to try to break free. Wait, hold on. Let me read it. Grapple is a stun. The only action. No, I'm performing the action to break free.
Oh, you're performing the action. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what do you have? You have to get a single success.
So, the only action, which is a slow action, succeeds if the opponent wins an opposed. So it's this opposed roll. So we're both rolling it. So whoever gets more successes, and I got 0 successes. You win.
I got 1.
You're still holding.
Well, no. Even if I got 0 as well, I still win because defender wins, right?
While grappling, the only action
you're trying to initiate something, and you got no net successes.
That makes sense. Yes. Yeah. If the opponent wins, and yes, I have to win the close combat roll, and I did not win. Nope. A tie is not a win. So yes, I would have to win. Okay, xenomorphs. Alien creatures can grab you or attach themselves to you in nasty ways. This follows special rules as described in the section on xenomorphs, see page 112, which
I'm sure this is two things. They're going to bring up two things. One, the prehensile tail, and two, the little mouth inside the mouth. They can actually attack while grappling an opponent, either with the tail or the mouth.
We're going to get to that next week when Heathen Dog's not here.
Dang it.
Because that's on page 112. I'm looking at my notes. That will be right at the end of the first segment next week.
Damn it.
Shoving. You can push people off cliffs, because why not? As a fast action, you can try to shove an opponent at engaged range. You cannot do it at long range, 100 yards away. This is done.
Go Gadget Boy.
Coco or Plastic Man.
Yeah, Plastic Man.
This is done with a close combat roll. The GM can modify your roll for certain opponents. If you succeed, your opponent is shoved away into short range. Wow. Shoving a target away can be useful if you want to engage it at range combat rather than fight it in hand-to-hand. Shoves can be blocked per above.
Sure.
Right. Sure. And by the way, a great example here. We're not going to read it, but there is a great example here. The book needs more of this in the previous part. But there are really good examples in the combat sections. Why aren't you reading it? Because you should buy the book if you're interested.
Anyway, they actually teach that whole if someone's on you and you want to shoot them, that they actually in close quarters combat, they teach you the shove, step back, pull, fire to get space so you can pull your gun and fire so they don't have a chance to grab your weapon.
Because I'm very, very anal about this, I just want to see what's the firing mechanism? Or what's the firing maneuver, stance, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to give away the answer, so.
I don't know. I said there was that. I didn't say I was trained in it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought no. It's shove, step back, and chest fire. You actually hold the firearm this close.
Yep. Again, the object is to fire the weapon without giving them a chance to, interfere with it.
If you reach out, yes, chances are slapping a weapon it can save a life. Is it? I wouldn't try to Jackie Chan everything, but because it doesn't normally work for people. But
if the option is you're going to get shot anyway, give it a try. Give it a try.
Yeah, and that's why
if you're falling off a cliff,
shot here.
Try to fly. No one's going to laugh at you. It was your last ditch effort. Like, fuck it, might as well try. Yeah. Do it. Same thing.
By the way, it's about a 4-inch range, because if you put it on your chest, because I don't want to give anybody bad advice, when that slide comes back, that'll be all bad for you. So you want it out about 4 inches. Anyway, all right, so where are we now? You need to be able to, when you shoot at someone from a distance, roll for ranged combat. You need to be able to see your target. Oh, you also need a ranged weapon. Oh, come on. There are too many rules in this game, even if it's simply something you throw. The weapons table in Chapter 6, later on, describes a variety of firearms and other ranged weapons. To draw a gun from a belt or holster or a rifle from its sling is a fast action. Firing a weapon is a slow action. The point of that is they don't want you to have 2 attacks in a round.
Right.
Aiming. If you take your time to aim carefully before squeezing the trigger, you get a +2 to your attack. Well, now we know what that is.
Now we know what
a fast action gives you +2. Aiming is a fast action.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you do anything else except shoot your weapon after you've aimed, or if you are hurt, you lose the effect of the aim.
Oh, if you're hurt, there's no resistance. There's no I'm going to tough it out. No, if you take any kind of damage, you lose your aim.
Okay,
unless hurt is a specific level of damage.
Yeah, let's finish the sentence, because that threw me off and I was going a completely different direction with this, but finishing the sentence clears it all up. If you do anything else except shoot your weapon after you've aimed, or if you're hurt, you lose the effect of the aim and you need to spend another fast action to aim again. Doesn't mean you can never aim, it just means you gotta do it again. Okay. So that makes sense, because I was like, wait a minute, you can never aim if you're hurt? That's lame. But no, that's not true. Range. The weapons table in Chapter 5 indicates the range of each weapon, the maximum range category at which the weapon can be used. The further away the target is, the harder it is to hit. At medium range, you get a -1 modification. At long range, you get -2. At engaged range, you get a -3. Why? Because it actually is hard. This is why he was talking about that training. It is hard to draw a bead on an enemy that is that close. It really is. Unless, of course, the person just is, unmoving. You don't get this penalty if you're firing at a defenseless or unwitting enemy. Instead, you get a +3 modification. I see most people actually just say roll the dice. You do +3 modification. Yeah, you're pretty much going to kill somebody doing that.
Yeah.
Now, because it's your zero engine and plus 3 dice, so we'll do the 6 dice again. Now I get plus 3. Let's see how many successes I get. Oh, boom! Look at that! I got 1 success. I hate my dice. These are official alien dice too, and I get 1 success.
Well,
what is wrong?
Why
Oh, yeah, that's fair. But it's plus 3 modification because the chances are you're going to murderify the person who's not paying attention. Target size. Firing at a large target, such as a vehicle, gives a plus 2 modification to the attack. Vehicles have armor. Don't think that all of a sudden you're blowing up a vehicle with a 9mm. Firing at a small object, such as a small hatch, a handheld item, or a chest burster, gives a -2 modification. Chest bursters are not easy to shoot unless you got a shotgun.
Sure.
All right, here you go. Here are your modifiers. Engaged range, we talked about that. Short range, we can go down. Dim light is, see, that's the dim light thing. It's -1. Darkness is -2. If you go back to what we talked about in the previous video, that's why the darkness is such a way you can't shoot through. Yeah, darkness means it's dark. Dim light just means, your pupils are bigger. So, and you can look at the rest of those later and work this out in your game. If your attack hits, you inflict damage equal to the weapon's damage rating on your opponent. Heathen Dog, roll your 6 dice. You shot me.
All right.
Well, why? I don't know why you're shooting me, but that's mean. And let's see what you can do with that.
I'm rolling damage.
You just. It's all part of the same roll. You're rolling your ranged attack. Right. We're just gonna go with 6 dice again because it seems like a nice easy number.
2.
Attribute of 4, skill of 2. Let's
2 6s.
2 6s. All right. Well, you hit once again. He hits and does weapon damage. If his weapon damage is 3, he just did 3 points of damage to me with that 1 success. With his other success, he gets to pick one of these stunts. You can inflict 1 additional point of damage for 4. Or you can pin down your enemy. A player character would need to make a panic roll. NPCs miss their next slow action. That's pretty darn cool. What does that mean he can't do?
He can't attack.
Can't shoot, right? Yep. You position yourself and get to exchange your initiative score. By the way, I want to make this very clear. Next slow action. This means he can't attack anybody.
Yep.
You position yourself and get to exchange your initiative score. Once again, hey, you rolled over, you got to a different box cover, whatever. You moved yourself to where he's got to twist a little bit better. Your initiative is now higher. It's the same thing as before. You're exchanging your initiative. And you cannot go back. Once again, once you have his initiative, you get to keep it. Good job. Your target drops a weapon. Yeah, you shot it out of his hand. Okay. Your opponent falls to the ground or is pushed back, for example, through an airlock. You shot him in the leg. He ducked for cover, after being hit in the arm. Whatever happens to be, you hit him, but he doesn't get to choose the direction. You do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I so far for close range and for close combat and range combat, my first pick is not extra damage.
Okay.
I mean, unless I think he's gonna die pretty soon, I'm not choosing extra damage because all those other ones, if he doesn't die now, it gives me so much more utility in the next round.
Mm-hmm. Especially in a one-on-one fight.
Yeah, exactly. I probably wouldn't go for extra damage in any of those situations.
Okay. I do a little bit. Like I said, I find the dropped weapon or the dropped stuff to be such clown shoes if used over and over and over and over again.
Knocking someone down, stuff like that, exchanging initiative, those are powerful conditions.
Yeah. Just remember, whatever the players can do to the NPCs can do to the players.
Except block.
I said to the players.
Oh, okay, fine.
Weapons. Okay, full auto fire. What's different about this? Weapons listed as fully automatic can fire long bursts of full auto fire. So the weapon has to have that tag, flag, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
This counts as a normal ranged attack, but with a few differences. First of all, you get a +2 modification to your roll.
I mean, so many bullets. You're firing in bulk. You're going to hit something. Odds are.
And this is the one I don't like. Maybe it's because I was in the military. Your stress level immediately increases by 1. I don't understand. I find firing
gone over stress, and it depends how easy it is to lose it.
I find full auto fire fun.
When you're on the range, I'm sure it's fun, but maybe when you're actually in combat, people are shooting back at you. The idea of firing full auto, you are barely in control of your weapon during that full auto fire, even if you're trained. You are in a hair's breadth control of your weapon. So that could make you a little anxious. I can
Control
see
the weapon, I would disagree, but accuracy, yes, I understand what you're saying. Yes. I don't know. I don't see that.
it depends how easy the stress comes and goes. We don't know yet. We haven't gotten to that section.
You can distribute an additional success you roll beyond your first two secondary targets. That means you can hit more than one target. That makes sense. That's kind of the point of burst fire and full auto. Yeah. The first success is assigned to the first success assigned to a secondary target inflicts damage equal to the damage rating of the weapon, and further successes are assigned to secondary target can be used for stunts. So it doesn't matter what you're doing when it comes to firing. The first success is just basic damage. After that,
the guy you were
stunts.
aiming at, the primary target, you hit it. For every other success, you can choose a stunt or to hit somebody else. Okay. Now, another reason for full auto fire is suppressing fire. And we actually have a stunt for that already. It's a little up higher. It was pin your opponent with ranged combat.
Did I miss? Oh, right. Position yourself, target your opponent falls to the ground, push back. Oh, you pin your opponent. Yeah. PCs need to make a panic. NPCs just miss next slow action.
See, this is suppressing fire. They get pinned down, they hide, and they panic because you are unloading half a clip or a full clip or a whole drum or whatever into their general vicinity, and they're freaking out. I
wonder if this game has suppression fire rules, because I think it does, but I might
effectively suppressive fire. If you use a stunt to pin down your enemy, you are suppressing their movement with your stunt. So I guess that's close enough.
What I think this is trying to do here is I think it's trying to emulate the movies, and I get it. You know, I'm being a little. I would not cry about this rule in the game, to be honest with you. It's just. I find it funny that I'm going full auto. But the point is if you're in the military, let's be honest, you're taught not to go full auto. Well, they don't even allow it on the weapons anymore.
Unless you're the one guy in the army unit or whatever that has the M60 or whatever, and
right.
He's the one who's supposed to go full auto, and usually only for suppressive fire. The actual pinpoint killing should be done by everyone else.
When we had the M16s that allowed full auto fire, they're like, yeah, don't do that. So
yeah, don't do that. Don't do that at all. Yeah, they didn't want that at all because your accuracy is for crap.
So I could see that the intent of that is to be like, look, if you're going full auto, that means you're already doing the Hudson thing. You want some? You want some? You want some? So your stress level is probably up there. I get that because I know somebody's going to make a comment about that at some point. But all right, ammo. Most firearms in the world of Alien have large enough magazines so you don't need to worry about counting individual bullets. Did you see the movies? However, when tension rises, you risk wasting ammo and emptying your clip magazine at the worst possible time. This is simulated in the following way. Whenever you fire a weapon and roll one or more face huggers, let me show you again the face hugger. There you go. When you roll one or more of those, or a 1 on your D6, you have emptied your magazine.
No. You missed something vital. Whenever you fire a weapon and roll a 1 or more face huggers on your stress dice.
That's the only place that they exist.
Yeah. If you don't have any stress dice, then you can't run out of ammo.
Okay. Yeah. No. Exactly. Okay. You're fair. That clarification to me is just like, well, yeah, because you can only have face huggers on stress dice. But for clarification, and because we're doing the read through, you're right. If you roll that on your stress dice, you've emptied your magazine.
That's another bonus for androids. Androids can never run out of ammo.
Reloading is a slow action. You need to keep track of how many full reloads of ammunition you carry for your weapon.
Yeah, no. Android. Oh, there it is. They must have fixed it because I was about to say that is utterly broken. Absolutely broken. Androids can never run out of ammo because they can't gain stress. But what does it say?
It's broken.
No, androids don't have stress levels and thus don't risk. Oh my God! In this intention, it is or in?
It's probably supposed to be is.
Okay, this is intentional to simulate the controlled nature of synthetics. As for NPCs, they run out of ammo if and when the GM finds it dramatically appropriate. Wow. Okay. Yep, Android's looking real good, man. I don't know, man. And Androids, I thought it was OP before, but now we can go full auto all day.
Once again, really great example in here. I have actually read through them. Check them out, and it gives examples of how to use the rules if you have any confusion. All right, Overwatch. As a fast action, you can assume an Overwatch position in a specified direction as long as you have a ranged weapon and no enemies within an engaged range. Somebody cannot be kicking you as you're trying to lay down and shoot down, waiting for somebody to come out the door. This means that you aim in the specified direction and are ready to shoot between the time you assume the Overwatch position and your time to act in the next round. You can fire your weapon against a target in the chosen direction. Basically, you're just looking like, I'm waiting for somebody to come around the corner. All right,
Your initiative no longer matters as long as it's come and gone in the same round. As long as your initiative has happened and you've done nothing, you can choose when to fire, but only at opponents at the area you're already aiming. That makes sense. I get that.
You can fire whenever you want in the turn order, and your shot is resolved before all other actions, even if they are already declared. For example, if an enemy in the direction you are aiming declares he wants to fire a weapon, you can shoot first.
Yep.
The enemy is not allowed to change his attack after your Overwatch attack. Well, I got shot. Why can't I change the attack? It was basically, well, I wouldn't call it simultaneous. He snapped it off just before you. You were in the process of doing what you're doing. He snapped it off before you, shot the gun out of your hand, and you're done. You can use a fast action to pick it up. Firing when in an Overwatch position counts as a normal attack or slow action. Therefore, you must save your slow action in the round for any Overwatch attack you want to make. Right. If both you and your enemy assume Overwatch positions against each other and both choose to fire against each other, then an opposed ranged combat roll determines which attack goes first.
Yeah, that's the whole sniper shot through the scope thing.
This roll does not count as an action for either of you because you're just seeing who goes first, who's better, who's got the better skill at that moment. Losing Overwatch. You keep your Overwatch position as long as you do nothing but shoot in the chosen direction. If you perform any other action, the Overwatch position is lost. It is also immediately lost if either of the following occurs. You are attacked in close combat or you suffer damage. That doesn't mean you necessarily lose any cover, that you're not still standing behind the barrel or whatever, but it means you lose that initiative.
You lose the special Overwatch abilities.
Yes.
Yeah.
What page are we on? Okay, we're still going. Damage. All right, we are going to talk a little bit about damage. Oh, yeah, because next week is stress and panic. Okay. You run the risk of being injured, yada, yada. All right. How much damage you can take is determined by your health score. Starting health. When not injured, your total health score is equal to your strength. Talents can modify your maximum health. What I was thinking about there is that strength that's very normal. I know Coriolis is a little different, but this is very normal for your zero engine games. Your strength is also your hit points. Armor. To protect yourself from harm, you can wear armor. I highly suggest it. You're a dum-dum if you don't. The effectiveness of a piece of armor is represented by its armor rating. You can only wear one suit of armor at a time, Bob.
No stacking, people.
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah.
Does he still watch? When you take damage from an attack, roll a number of base dice equal to your armor rating. Each success you get lowers the damage inflicted by 1 point.
So it's not a set amount. It's a number of dice for a possible amount.
Yes.
Okay.
The armor roll does not count as an action for you because effectively it's the armor taking the action.
Yeah. The armor is doing it. Yeah.
Recovery. When you are no longer broken, you recover 1 hit point of lost health per turn, 5 to 10 minutes of rest. Critical injuries can still affect you. We're not there yet, but again, if you have any experience with your zero engines, you know that damage is to your attributes. Critical injuries are the lingering effects.
Status effects, basically.
Yeah. Right. So, if you twist your ankle, that has little to do with the fact that you took 2 points of strength damage, but it has everything to do with that might last a week. Up here, where are we? Broken. If you drop to 0 health, you are broken. In effect, taken out of the action. Immediately roll for a critical injury. So now you know when to roll for a critical injury, only when you're broken. At least so far. If you're not dead, you can crawl and mumble through the pain. You cannot perform any actions, and you cannot roll for any skills. So you're reaching out, Heathen Dog, save me! As he's walking away.
You're already in the hole.
You can't go below 0 health, but each further attack that causes damage will give you another critical injury.
Okay. What?
You die from critical injuries in the game, not by being reduced to 0 hit points.
Okay. All right.
Getting back up. Being broken is not fatal in and of itself. Only critical injuries can actually kill you. See, there you go. There are 2 ways to get back up after being broken, assuming you're not dead. First aid. Someone can help you back to your feet by administering first aid to using the medical skill, which falls under empathy. So Heathen Dog has 0 empathy. So the lowest he can have is 2, but he also has 2 dice in medical. So there you go. You got 4 dice to roll for this. This is a slow action. Certain medical equipment can give bonuses to the roll. Please, Heathen Dog, use the med kit on me because you suck.
No. I'm just gonna, stick my finger in the hole and everything will be fine.
All right, roll ahead. Put that tourniquet around my neck. Make me Palsy Bear.
Palsy Bear it is.
Okay, so no successes. If the roll is successful, which he wasn't, you get back up immediately, regaining health equal to the number of successes. So he rolled no successes. I got no health back. Good job. Administering first aid to someone who isn't broken has no effect. Oh, that's kind of lame.
That is lame. That is absolutely lame.
No. To be fair, you get it back so quickly. It's just a turn, 5 to 10 minutes. I guess I can see that.
Yeah, but still,
if it was like days or even shifts, I wouldn't like this at all. I'm not sold, but I at least understand it. You're only waiting 5 to 10 minutes. It's like a recovery test in Earth Dawn.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess.
On your own, if you're broken and no one is around to help you, automatically recover 1 point of health after 1 turn has passed and can get back up on your own. Well, there you go.
Right,
Again, you still suffer the critical injuries.
Yes. The lingering effects, right?
We'll save death for a moment. Because, why talk about coup de grace or death when you can talk about coup de grace? All right, coup de grace. A broken character is defenseless. If it's a human being and you want to kill your target outright, you must fail an empathy roll. Thank you for adding this into this game, like they did to Forbidden Lands. Okay, you must fail an empathy roll. Again, Heathen Dog has no empathy, has 2 empathy. Go ahead and roll you 2 dice.
Already. Yeah, you're dead.
Okay, so he decides that, putting me out of my misery is the best thing that he could possibly do for me right now. So whether or not you succeed at killing your target, you increase your stress level by 1. So you get to add another die in there.
No, it says without stress dice.
Wait, really? Whether or not you succeed at killing, you increase your stress level by 1. Killing in cold blood is not that easy. If you have the merciless talent, you can kill defenseless enemies without the negative effect. No, it doesn't say without stress dice.
No, it does. It does. You missed it. Go up a sentence.
No, that's...
You must fail an empathy roll for the attribute only without stress dice.
Okay, for the actual original roll portion.
The actual roll to be able to kill you, stress doesn't matter. Yeah,
my point was to say that you now have stress for anything you do, but yeah.
But I'm an android, so I don't.
Oh yeah. Yeah, can androids do a coup de grace? They might not be able to.
Why? I fail an empathy roll. Okay.
Hey, Ron, can androids do critical injury? As long as you still have health left, damage points represent fatigue, bruises, or smaller cuts. Painful to be sure, but possible to overcome. Critical injuries represent a much more dangerous form of injury. These can maim or kill you. When knocked down to 0 health, roll a d66. For people who don't know what that is, that's like percentile dice, but with 6-siders, you just roll 1 of each of these, call high. Let's say for me, yellow is high. So I got get back up here. I got a 4 on the yellow and a 6 on the black. That means I rolled a 46, and we'll get to the chart later.
There it is.
So, but that's what it'd be. So 46 is based on how I called it. So critical injuries represent much more. These can we do that? Okay. On page 100, are we going to get there? Yeah. Whoa, critical injuries are back here. Wait, what page are we on? Oh, 98. So we'll get to that in just a moment. We'll see what that 46 is in a moment. Death. If you suffer a critical injury listed as fatal, you must make a death roll when the listed time runs out. So if it says like a week, you get to wait a week before you make that roll.
Yeah. Apparently you're not dead. You're only mostly dead.
You're
Miracle
dying.
Max can come around, a la your medic, and maybe save you. Probably not with a chocolate covered miracle pill, but whatever.
Yeah, you're in critical condition is effectively what's going on. Death roll is a death roll is a roll for stamina, which is strength plus stamina. But you cannot push the roll, and you're not allowed to roll any stress dice. Stress does not help you to try to survive.
Great, because I don't want the possibility of rolling a face hugger. I don't need that when I'm almost dead.
You wake up panicked.
I'll rip out my stitches and I'll die.
If the death roll fails, you die. It's that simple.
Well,
if the death roll fails, you die. You don't have 75 get out of jail free cards.
No,
you
we already have that.
Well, to some degree.
Yeah, to some degree, we already have that. You know,
you have
zero health does not mean dead. All right.
No, well, it's not zero health. Technically, it's zero strength. Your body is broken.
It should.
No, death comes from critical injuries.
Yes,
so,
no, I'm fully aware. I just don't like it.
Okay. If you succeed, you linger on, but you must make another death roll when the listed amount of time passed again. Basically, you gotta get healed in here.
Yeah, you need a medic. You really need a medic to help you out here.
Saving your life. To save your life when you have suffered a fatal critical injury, someone must give you first aid before you fail a death roll. First aid is a slow action and requires a medical aid roll. Note that some critical injuries are so severe that a negative modification is applied to the medical aid roll. We'll look at that on the chart. If you recover a health point by yourself after one turn C above, before you fail a death roll, you can try to give yourself first aid. Good luck. But you get a -2 modification to the roll. It's hard to perform surgery on yourself.
Yeah, but, you know, it's either that or die. Take a chance.
You're performing surgery on yourself.
Yeah, you're performing surgery on yourself. You know, like, Mark Watney did it. Hell, man, why not me?
Each character who attempts to treat you can try only once to get a second chance. Better medical equipment is needed. Remember, that goes back to the whole concept that you can only do it one time. You have the limit of your skills. You have to change the environment. Well, guess what changing the environment is? Oh, crap. You've got medical equipment. Let's use that. I could probably sew them together again. Broken. If you are both broken and have sustained a fatal critical injury, 2 separate medical aid rolls are needed. One to get you back on your feet and the other to save your life. Can you please do the saving of the life first?
Isn't that the wrong order?
Yeah.
That's the wrong order.
I don't think order in this necessarily matters, but yeah, it says right there, the 2 rolls can be made in whichever order you prefer.
Please say. You know what? No, I get it. I get it. If the enemy is encroaching, you need all the guns you can at the front line. Sure, he's bleeding out, but it's kind of slow.
Well, to be fair, a lot of the critical injuries are things like twisted ankle and so forth. You know, you're going to be limping for a week or two. So, yeah. Insta-kill. Note that there are 4 critical injuries, 63 to 66, to kill you outright. I thought it was only 2 in Forbidden Lands. I might be wrong about that, though. That kill you outright. If you roll any of these, your character shuffles off his mortal coil. No death roll is allowed. You just die. I rolled a 46, but imagine if that was a 64. We'll look at 64 also, because I think it's on this page. All right. So I rolled a 46, right? Because Keen Dog hates ruptured intestines.
That's not great.
That's yummy.
That's not good.
So is it fatal? Well, anything 44 and above looks to be fatal.
Yeah, it's going to be fatal because you are not going to make that disease with viruses 6 resistance.
A virulence 6, yeah.
Happen.
So when do I have to make my death roll? I make it every shift. If I succeed, where is it? 46. If I succeed in the first one shift later, 5 to 10 hours later, I've got to make another one. So I'm living on borrowed time.
Yes,
and what is this? Effects. These effects here. I have to roll versus disease. So he has to make a medical roll to try to save my life, but also I have to roll a disease with a virulence of 6. That's 6 dice. I forget exactly how to counter disease.
I don't. Yeah, it's probably resisted by your strength and stamina.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I don't want to say that right now because I've forgotten. I've done it in Forbidden Lands a bunch, but that's been a while.
That's no joke. You only need to lose by 1. That's it, and then you die. That's it.
All right, so fatal. Okay, let's look at 64. Crushed skull. Oh, that's funny. Your story ends here. Oh,
yep, that's it. Impaled heart. Oh,
your heart beats for the last time.
Ruptured aorta. Whoa! A roll every round. Okay, I get that. I get that now.
Every round,
and you're at -2 for the roll. That's gross.
Yeah. Don't roll high. Don't roll high when you have critical injury.
Ruptured jugular. That's not great. Cracked spine. That's not great.
It's not fatal though.
Oh yeah, but you're paralyzed from the neck down. That's it. You may as well be dead.
If not given medical aid in time, the effect is permanent.
Okay, it doesn't say 3 to 6 days. Okay. So you got 3d6 days for someone to stabilize your spine, which is greatly increased compared to the real world. So good luck, good on you. But hot damn.
So let's go back to, because I actually
Oh no,
missed
that's
this other.
healing time. That's healing time.
Yeah. So
So it doesn't say it's up to the game master or game mother. Sorry, it's up to the GM what in time means.
well, okay, so that's the difference here. This is healing time.
Yeah.
All right. So this is how long a time takes for you to recover from it. If you make it, and we should read about this in a moment, unless this game is different than every other one. That's how long. So what's my 46? Let's go back to my 46 here. Ruptured intestines. It's fatal in every shift. I have to roll a death save. Okay.
For 2d6 days.
It heals within 2d6 days. So even if you perform medicine on me, it's going to take, well, okay, here we go. I rolled a 6. It's going to take 9 days for me to actually heal from all this. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know what disease with virulence 6 exactly means with regard to this, but hopefully we find out here in just a moment. Permanent mental trauma. Is that in here? Or is that coming from too much panic?
It's probably a panic-induced thing that we haven't got.
Real quick, I did want to show sprained ankle, just as an example. You don't die from it, but your mobility is -2 and can't run until medical aid roll is made. Now, and there's no healing time for that. I want one with healing time. Concussion, mobility -2. It will heal on its own in D6 days. If you get medical treatment, usually in the Year Zero games, half that time if you get medical treatment.
The way I'm feeling this medical thing works is they can actually stop that, like cure it, and it's only D6 days if there's no first aid medic around to fix it. That's what I'm picking up.
Healing. Healing might be in this one because next is stress and panic. That's next week. So let's just read down. Let's just see if there's some more damn healing in here. Go ahead and roll me a D6.
Oh, sure. 3.
All right. So Heathen Dog gave me some mental trauma. He gave me nightmares. Make an empathy roll when you sleep. If the roll succeeds, you have horrible nightmares and your stress level increases by 1. Great. You cannot relieve stress for a full day after such a nightmare. Oh, that's awesome.
You know what? I like this because they're using your high empathy against you. If you have a high empathy, you're more in tune with other people's feelings and therefore your own. The more in tune you are with your own feelings, the more you can freak yourself out, give yourself nightmares. But the more hardcore badass you are, you don't give a crap. Feelings are for other people. And so you have a less chance of having the mental trauma. I like that.
Handling death, dumb paragraph. Let's move on. I don't even want you to see the words in that one. Characters die. You're playing a role-playing game. Get over it. Healing. Each critical injury has a specific effect that you suffered during the healing time indicated, which is measured in days. Care. If someone, now here we go. Here's going to answer all that stuff that I was kind of flopping through. Yep. If someone tends to you daily during this process of healing a critical injury and makes a medical aid roll, the remaining healing time is reduced by half. Okay, so the person has to take care of you every day.
Yep.
Any earlier roll to save your life does not count towards this. Okay, roll to save your life does not count towards the critical injury.
Continuing aid. Right.
Yeah. A new roll is required to reduce the healing time. So you're going to make a medical roll to save my life, and then you're going to make a medical roll to reduce the time.
Right.
Okay.
And then before I say that, let's continue on with the other healing parts.
Note that you can recover all your lost health points, but still suffer the effects of critical injury. It said that before, but I think it's good to say it again here.
Yeah. So Max is 100% right, especially with his disease with virulence 6. Instead of 9 days, it's 4.5. I'm a crappy DM, so I'll say it's 5. But he'll still every shift.
4 days and 2 shifts, man.
He still has to roll every shift for 5 days for the virulence for the disease. And I'm sure if he fails that, he'll get another critical injury.
I don't think you have to roll once it's healed. Hold on. My understanding, and this is this way I've played it in Forbidden Lands, where the hell's 46, is you roll this to save the life. Then you roll the skill roll again. You only have to roll. You have to give daily care, but you only have to make the roll once.
Right.
And the way I've seen a lot of people do it is do it at the end of the days, but that doesn't make sense to me because you're
No, it
cutting in
doesn't make
half.
sense here. It has to be
Yeah.
done. Yeah, your the first medical aid roll after the initial making sure he doesn't die. That's the one that counts for the number of days, and if you are, starting the being cared for every day. So
My
it has the
understanding
number
is
of
that
days
this
spent.
is just rolled one time.
Yeah, yeah. And after that, it's just care, right? I mean, the
Yes.
nurse comes in, takes your temperature, replaces your fluids, gives you proper medication. That's
Yeah.
just care. No rolls are made. As
Now,
long as the
this
care
disease with
happens.
virulence 6, though, my understanding
But
also is one
yeah, if
time.
that happens every shift, you still might die, but that's realistic, right? I mean, you have a bad
Infection, yeah.
infection, the antibiotics I'm giving you aren't great. They're cutting down half the time, but still, you still have to fight that infection as well.
I want to see, is disease in here? Okay, disease 46. By the way, we're done with this
Oh,
section, so
yeah,
if you want to put up
Crafty,
chat.
thank you
Okay,
very much. Appreciate it.
that's in the next one. Good.
Thank you.
So we'll talk about disease next week. So we'll find out more about that next week, what that is. So typical disease has a virulence of 3, with disease which are higher ratings. Okay, so I think it's going to work like the Forbidden
Oh,
Lands one. I
you
really do.
suffer 1 point of damage when you fail. I saw it.
One should. Yeah, there are multiple bullets on there. We'll get to it next week.
Excellent.
So
right, starred. I don't have a whole lot. I don't have anything.
oh, what were they talking about? I saw a lot of chat going on.
Everyone was talking about in the beginning. They were talking about the dumbass full auto M16 people, and then we went to everyone's talking to each other basically.
That's right, and I see Ron's comment on there. You can take the machine gunning skill. I get the context of the fact that if you're trained, you're not supposed to be doing it, and if you're not trained, it probably does intimidate you. I've seen a lot of people the first time that they fire full auto, it's like, whoa, what the hell, So I can get it. Maybe I have the machine gunning skill, but the bigger point is if you're using that, you're probably under a stressful situation anyway. So. I get it. I'm not angry with it. I'm just like, really? Just by firing it full auto? We'll put it in the right context.
So, it starts making some sense.
Yeah. So like, subscribe, share. Tell us what you think about the series. Again, this is a read through for folks that are, thought that we were going to be playtesting or something. No, this is a read through, and we discuss it as we read it. That is the intent of this. You can check out those examples. I highly suggest. I apologize to folks that I missed it. This was on sale last week, but you know what? They'll put Alien on sale again. But you can get it off Drive-Thru-RPG. You can get it off the Free League site. I highly suggest you get the game and learn how to play more from there.